Hello there, beloved Ascension pioneers, and welcome to another video of mine. I am Polona Aurea, as you might know, and I wanted to make another Ascension update, and it will be kind of like a continuation with the previous video when I talked about this death and rebirth process. So, as you can see lately, I'm really guided to be dressed in white. All of me is white. I even sleep in white. This is something interesting because before in my life I never really actually wore white color. And as you've seen, if you're following my Facebook page, I was guided to buy this flower. Actually, it found me once and I got it for free because it was this weird 50% off kind of thing. This orchid flower, which is seating the light there, and by the windows where I usually create my crystal grids as well. And it's just, I'm noticing this influx of this energy. And because I wasn't so much in the white energy before, I didn't have any white clothes. So I, I actually went through this phase when even externally, I had to shift my wardrobe and I've changed everything physically. And it feels like now this new cycle is beginning, this freshness, white incorporates all colors. So whatever we've been working with now, it's kind of like the white is culminating it together, and not just white. There's there's also gold, and I'll be addressing this in this video. But now is this very intense time. So if you are just very hyper, very excited, you've noticed the energy shifting so much. We just had the 1111 gateway portal. What I'm doing now is I'm sleeping with my crystal companions. It's just like I put my favorite crystals, and this is one of them. This is the one that a brother of light has sent me from USA. And it's actually translucent white, but it has like this golden ring around it. And I was looking at it one day out in the sunshine, going on my hikes. I was so surprised because this white golden energy keeps showing up, and the golden energy is actually the master energy, and when the souls go into the after plane, they usually see this golden white, or when they see their prenatal, pre-birth experiences, they also see this golden light. So it's very interesting now, this golden light, the embodiment of our soul is really coming through. And just recently, I really feel guided to, when I go to bed, because the nights are very intense right now. When I go to bed, I just surround myself with the crystals. I put some of them under my pillow. This is also one good example. It's like a praying priest. I published this one on Facebook as well, but I don't think you're all there. It looks like, a praying priest, or a woman priest, or a saint, something like that. So this was also sent to me by the same person. These are apophyllite crystals, also very charged in energy, or selenite, and this one is also, of course, selenite as well. There's also crystal quartz. And just when I do this, when I put it under my pillow and I sleep with it in my hands, I have very intense dreams. And this is happening during the gateways. A lot of us are going different places. You're just going out of the space, or you're communing with the beloved on the higher planes of existence. And that's why a lot of sleep was present in our lives lately. And you might have not liked waking up so late, and you were just out of the place. This is what happened to me yesterday. My crystals were all wrong. They weren't where I placed them. They weren't under my pillow, and my pants were literally put all the way up. And I couldn't believe. I was asking myself, like, where was I? Seriously, where was I? So if you're asking yourself those questions, know that at this point, during each gateway, which the 1111 is, and this is what I'll be addressing today. This is a long intro because I feel really excited and elevated and uplifted today. And, I could talk about the experiences I'm having on and on, but basically it's all about your experiences, what you're experiencing, how you're feeling the shifts, and just something that is very true for us at this time is coming through as well, which means that it comes and goes with a lot of the letting go of the olds. And I'll be talking about this as well. This was just like a preview. And when these dreams are very intense, they can be like adventurous dreams. This is what I'm having lately, like adventure dreams. And with this comes a very, this sense of elusiveness. And it's like a deeper emerging of our soul self is coming back. So today, actually after the 11/11 gateway, which was yesterday. You know, I've written a lot about it. I don't want to, repeat it in my video. So if you want to know more, go to my webpage, go to my blog, go to my Facebook page. It's all written there. It's described about what was happening energetically, how you can tune into this energy, how you're always connected with this energy. And I was describing a lot there, so if you're interested, just go there. But what I want to share here is more like the experiential part and the energy part. So today, after the portal, I woke up just with this, when you're in this good mood without a reason, when you just open your eyes and you're like in this new world. And ever since the eclipse was here and a lot of the shadow work for many of us, as you know, the pioneering souls, the volunteer souls, and these are the souls that I'm addressing in my videos. You know, sometimes people speak about certain truths that apply to certain levels of reality and awareness, and they kind of try to put that mash in what I'm saying, and I'm just saying, no, it's not what I'm talking about, please respect that. Because what I'm putting out there is just for souls who are aware of this and it will resonate with their heart. If you happen to see this and you don't resonate and don't like it, that's fine as well. But what I'm saying here is for those souls who do know this path and who are on the same path, because truth is always different on different levels of awareness, and the same will resonate with the same. A lot of people try to approach what's happening with the mind, and what I'm seeing is a lot of people still want explanations for things that are happening. The mind wants explanations. The mind wants to be fed. And I've written about this yesterday. The mind will constantly go hungry when it tries to approach things this way and when you want to feed it. What you actually need is to merge the soul and the mind, because none of them is meant to be a servant of another. The mind and the soul are meant to co-create and cooperate. And that means that when you open yourself to the soul energy, which is pure creativity, pure creation, you will create. And that creativity, when you put your beauty and your uniqueness, your individual blueprint out into this physical plane of existence, your mind will absolutely already be nourished. That's what's happening. So sometimes people want to give me these explanations that are very rational and what scientists are researching or whatever and whatnot. It's not what I'm talking about here in my videos. This is pure spirit guidance. And when I talk about spirit, I don't talk about the after plane and the, the dead ones, the ones who have left this plane. I'm talking about the pure Holy Spirit, the presence of all creation. This is what I'm tuning into. This is what guides me on my journey. And a lot of the souls are opening that to that purity of spirit guidance. So anyway, what I wanted to say is today, let's get back to today. This sense of this reawakening after the eclipse, because in the eclipse, like I said, there was this shadow work again present. And like I said, for a lot of us volunteer souls, and then I went into explanation of what I'm addressing here for. What I meant to say is that a lot of us, we haven't come here with our own karma, with our own dealings, whatever. But it doesn't matter, because all is one. In the principle of unity, there's just oneness. Of course, there's no oneness. You cannot experience oneness without understanding yourself first. That is what was already said with the wisdom that was shared with the quote, know thyself. So the thing is, you won't be able to experience oneness if you don't yet know your individual soul spark. And that is the main focus of my work, to get you to embody your soul, to understand your uniqueness and your authenticity in order to feel one with everything. You cannot feel one. How can you feel one with all life and everything if you're still denying yourself? So those people who are not yet fully heart-centered will not understand this, because it doesn't come through the understanding of the mind, first thing first. So again, like I said, the pioneering, the volunteering souls that I'm addressing oftentimes in all of this is, of course, for everybody, because ascension is happening in waves and this is no separation here. But when I'm talking about it, those who will consciously resonate with it won't need explanations or say, please verify this in some way. Fact is different to different people. What is fact to me doesn't have to be fact to you. I might not need facts on my journey anymore, and some people still do. So that's different. When you fully shift to inner spirit guides, that is a completely different story. And this is what this 11/11 Gateway of Oneness was truly all about, because each year we're given this opportunity to shift even deeper, to go even deeper with our expansion. And this one, I feel, is really a strong one, because the sense that it brought with it, it's like, wow. And you had to experience. You can't know about it. You can't research about it. Somebody was asking me desperately yesterday, or everybody on my page, somebody please explain what this is. If you don't give me a rational explanation, I can really feel that this is true. How can this be a gateway? It doesn't go this way, people. So The thing is, like I said, even if it's not our own karma or clearing or shedding or whatever it is, and I've said this, I've shared this in my recent writing, let's shift from the perspective of shedding, because on a certain level you have nothing yet to purify, you have nothing left to shed. All you have is that beautiful core, the white shining light of who you are. And on that level you start understanding things more, into bringing things into polarization, into perfection, into wholeness. You don't no longer think of it as a peeling of the onion. It doesn't ring true for you anymore. And I'll explain this as I go deeper into it. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, it doesn't matter whether it's whatever it is you're feeling is collective, because people are still asking themselves, how do I know what is collective, what is mine? Because once you know that you've come here as a pioneering soul, it doesn't matter for you what you'll be clearing when you get into that space. Today I woke up, like I said, so energized. I was literally tuning into the hyperdrive. You know how the extraterrestrial beings who travel, when they just literally push the that drive, the hyperdrive, it means they literally go through the holes that deal with these black holes that put them there in another dimension, so they don't have to travel physically with the spaceship. They just go and tune into the derived wave of that energy. So this is what's happening. We ride this source wave, and it feels like time doesn't exist. You can literally co-create anything. This is when you're tuning into that pure source potential. And today, when I woke up feeling this greatness, I felt like alive. I put music on, I started dancing. I was exercising for the half of the day, running, belly dancing, everything. And there was so much energy coming through. I come home, I started doing, raw vegan desserts. I started doing this and that. And my mom looks at me and she says, "You have so much energy." And I said, "But this is my natural state. So this is how I am. This is who I am. I'm an energizing being." So today I got this message that I shared with everybody about vibrational fields, that those of us who are here in this special mission, who are here, that we just bring our light essence into the world. We don't have to change our energy. We don't have to literally become something. We're not here to get activated. We came here activated already, but we need to anchor it in the body. That's what's happening. So the message was from this oracle from Cheryl Lee Hernish. I really admire this lady. She's very nice. I love her. And the messages that come through those cards are just fantastic. They're really resonating. And I shared it with everybody today. So again, if you want to see that deeper, the deeper insights, go to my Facebook page, click on my spirit messages, or just go on my wall. But the thing there was, this is our natural state. So when we're in that clearing mode, when the collective goes through something, as those of us who can deal with that energy, we also go through that. And at that point, it doesn't matter whether it's you or who is it coming from. It's just, if it comes to you, if it comes through us, it's already ours to deal with, because we have taken upon it. So a lot of people are still on the level when they say, "I'm an empath, so what do I do?" Well, if you're feeling a certain energy wave, work with it. You got to learn to master the energy field. So when we go through these cycles, and it's all combined and aligned with universal rays and universal alignments as well, because I want to show this to people, that, for example, when the Mercury goes retrograde, it's not like an external thing. It's not an outside thing. It's not that it has an impact on you that you can't handle. But what I want to show people is the intrinsic connection to all life, to all creation, that you understand that at that point, why you're feeling those things is because you are a part of it. Because if it is all one, it's not Mercury that's affecting you. You're co-creating with these energies, and it's all in flow. So however Mercury's turned and you feel it, and it flows through you because of this intrinsic connection within all creation principle. So I want really for people as conscious souls to start understanding this intrinsic connection, to start knowing that we work with the energy, we master the energy. It doesn't go against us. It doesn't affect us in a way that it comes externally. This is the level of the higher soul awareness that we're moving into now. And I'm constantly being shown this higher wisdom of the stars. Lately I kept seeing the number 47 everywhere. Then I go online, and I found this phenomena with this based with this research and this faculty, and it was this phenomenon, the mystery of the 47. And then I saw it was everywhere into Star Trek. And then the same day, that's how my guidance works. It's very fast. It's getting clues and clues and clues. And then I take my Ascension cards from Diana Cooper, and I remember last card I got was 47. It was Marco, the master who talked about a wisdom of the stars and connection with the Ashtar as well. And then I'm thinking everything lately is about channeling higher wisdom from the stars, getting there, really becoming that, becoming our intentions, becoming our prayers, becoming all of it. But what's happening as a consequence of this is, and I'm seeing these stories shared by my personal friends as well, is that a lot of people now are going this transition when, for example, something they've been really investing all their lives and they've associated themselves with this part. Like, I played this part, this is the role that I'm playing. And then things no longer work. And money is a good, kind of like a good thing that shows you where the energy just ran dry. And some of them really feel like they've lost everything and they don't know how to go about that road because it's probably not meant to be traveled anymore. You see, when the current becomes completely dried, the life will show you you're meant to be somewhere else. Life is guiding you into the unknown, into, you first got to embrace this unknown. And I've been talking about that in my Death and Rebirth video, and you can go see that if you haven't yet. This is a continuation of it. This is a new birth. This is the white. When the baby is born, sees everything, comes out to this planet and this existence, and it's all white. This is how I remember. It's all white. It's all crystalline. It's all, it's all new. It feels brand new, and this is how we're supposed to be feeling every day. When I get into this state that is completely my natural source state, when I'm not purifying something, when I'm not cleansing, when I'm not in the collective, which just goes through these cycles that flow, like I said, with astrology cycles as well. We flow with them, we co-create with them. We're not ruled or governed by them. That's a difference, in awareness here. And when I come back after each and that cycle, renewed, regained, when the strengthened sense of new empowered guidance, it just feels this is me. And sometimes people would still say, but how can you lost yourself? You're once in the state of bliss and then you're not. And it's not about losing ourselves. Each time when these opportunities come, like I've said, those souls who are here to volunteer, we did not come here. We come here to be conscious observers, of course, because in fact we're visitors. And we are here to be that objective observer, but at the same time, we also came here to do energy work. And I'm not talking about that energy work when you just put hands on something, and it's much deeper than that. It has to do with the radiance of your whole being. And, sometimes people will say, if you're so aware, why are these things happening to you? Or why can you still feel those feelings and sensations or emotions? But it's because you plunge, you descend in order to then uplift that frequency again and make it into something new. And within each cycle, when it's kind of like culminated and completed, you feel brand new, fresh energy. And you know what? Spirit rewards you. I mean, your own soul guidance rewards you in a way that after each of those cycles, you feel even better. It's not like you can compare it on the scale, but it's deeper. It's not better, worse. It's like strengthen, intensify, deeper. Your senses grow. And with this gateway of oneness, again, we had this opportunity. And a lot of souls who are doing this the first time, the ascension is like a first time for them. They've consciously walked through the portal, and a lot of them have this beautiful experience. And on the other hand, like I said, there's still souls who are saying, what does it mean? I don't understand. If it's not proven, it's not real. Because they have not yet stepped into the heart-centeredness, and that is fine. But the main key here for the Ascension Pioneers is that we don't lose our sense of no longer needing to validate validate things for others, to give this explanation or reason, because that's not why we came here. A lot of us used to play these roles, but remember, whenever somebody kind of caught you in that, and you were reactive instead of responses, and you tried to explain something to them, it end up returning right back at you for you to deal with, because it showed you this is not the highest aspect you can work within. The highest aspect we can work within is this Christ pure energy. And it just has to do with observing things and getting conscious awareness about things and then spreading this. Like today in the morning, I was guided to visualize the people who are, posing some opinions or negative comments or anything, but then surrounding them and sending them these angelic frequencies and the light of understanding and illumination of truth. But what you do is you don't send it just to them. You surround yourself with these energies, because it's never about them or us. It's never about this division or separation. It's about learning to observe whatever still frequencies come about and then working with it, so you internally kind of like digest that. You don't digest it, you dissolve it through awareness. And every time more awareness, more energetic work done through higher awareness, and this is what we're doing. So getting more conscious about everything that we do. Like today I was on a run, and I always get these ideas, and some of them are not even meant to be done by me, like my purpose. But I got this idea, like I was thinking, why are we so far behind, here with we have this touristic village here, and there's a ski resort and everything, and we still don't have even one vegan or at least vegetarian restaurant, not let alone be it the raw vegan. But I was thinking, just thinking about it, I was thinking, we have so powerful thoughts right now, we have such powerful energy, so why am I not just thinking about it, thinking I'm already pulling it from spirit, and then when it gets dense enough, somebody whose purpose it will be, will grab it. It's like, oh, I'm going to do this, and one day will just come about, and I'm not going to be surprised one day walking and finding that it's going to be a reality. So this is what we're doing, and this is why our work is so much important on the energy level, because a lot of people don't yet know how to work with the energy of the unseen, and it takes a great amount of trust, people, because you have to trust that you are making the influence. So if you've been having these higher visions and thoughts, and you're a visionary, I'm sure you are, and you've been having them, and maybe 3 years later something happens and you think that's just a coincidence, and trust me, it is not, because you brought the higher potential with you and you've helped to co-create it just by pulling it forth. All those genies who got the ideas of great inventions, they were inspired, but they were actually grabbing it and making it into something tangible and real. And now the energies are really focused on that. It's time for us to get grounded, because we create through our base chakra. And whoever still lives here and hasn't bring their soul energy in the body, who's not soul embodied, and spirit literally lately it showed me in meditation that there's like percentages of the soul embodiment. And trust me, even I am not like 100% soul embodied yet. It's like a process, it's a continuation, because the human vessels, we've they're a gift, of course, and we got them in this beautiful sense, and it's like an alchemy. Each day you turn your body into something more refined and more sacred. Each day you work with it, and each day is a gift. That's how we should treat it. I'll give you one example. My mom said last time she doesn't feel good because now it's winter time and she's a bit worried here in the mountains. Wow, first winter in the mountains, how it's going to be. It's going to be colder. What's it going to be like? And there's going to be lots of snow, but at the same time, it brings so much excitement to me. And it's brought me nothing but excitement. My life here ever since I moved here, it's amazing. I love everything. I love every single thing about it in comparison to what was before the city life. It's just everything is better, all levels, everything. And I've asked her if she feels good, and she said, well, still not. And then I said to her, you know what? You can't wait. She said, maybe in the summer. And I said, you can't wait for the summer. Summer's not yet here, and yet it is here, because it's, how things are moving faster now in frequency, and it's just been summer and it's winter now, so it's going to be summer again. But we have to learn to appreciate each moment, because when I was younger, I had a favorite season of the year as well. It was summer, of course, right? Because we used to be, sunbathing and going out in the sun and wearing all those mini dresses and everything. But now I don't have a favorite season of the year anymore. I'm just asking myself, do I? And I don't, because each season brings me something that a previous season cannot. That's the beauty when you merge yourself with all of life force and creation, because spirit is pure creation. Divine love always manifests itself through creation. And when you can respect and admire all aspects of it, that's when you're in connection with all of aspects of yourself. And when I was running today, I had this thought that of something I was writing about today, that I used to be more masculine in my expression, because everybody used to come to me, not just in family. I always had to be the strong one, and no matter what, and hold my mom together when, for example, my father died, and all these things. And I always was this heart pillar of light, and I always had to hold this strong masculine energy, be there for everybody. And everybody came to me always for advice and things like that. And even when I began with Ascension Pioneers, it was a bit of that I thought, because I took upon that role, that I have to be this nurturer and caretaker and have to be there for everybody. So at times, I'm noticing now in my new life awareness, how I used to be sometimes all day sitting at the computer, thinking maybe somebody will need me. And my life was just running about. And I always saw people living their lives. Why don't I live it? Well, girl, it's about you. And it took some time for me to dissolve those patterns, because they were developed in the because of the patterns of others, and then you just respond automatically. The more aware you are, you don't do that anymore. You just consciously see things. You learn because you see. You learn everything through being the neutral observer, and everything is given to you. You don't need any explanations or validation. It's there. The pure beingness, the state of pure awareness shows you. And before, I've noticed that um, when I talked about this today, that I've noticed now I'm getting more into the balanced state, which is creating through the feminine and masculine energy. The inner polarities are balanced now. I just feel them. In the past, a lot of my activities that were reflecting my inner state, because what we do always reflects our inner state, were based on this masculine drive energy, just being of service in that way, to always be there and be actionate. And, always had this thought, I need to do everything alone. And I had this huge sense, like a weight, on my shoulders, this responsibility and all those things. For example, even the sports, I was running and hiking, and I just left the feminine things behind. And I was thinking today, funny, because when I was younger, I used to be like this. I had this patch, because my eyes were a bit distorted, and then everybody was making fun of me when I was a little girl, and I was even different. My energy was different. They didn't understand me. So later on, I turned into this beautiful girl, and when I was in high school, everybody then wanted to be friends, and there were people falling in love with me, and there were boys and everything. And again, I didn't like it, because I thought, okay, before I want people to like me when I was younger, then later on, I didn't want me to like me. I didn't want them to like me because of my looks. I wanted to know the real me, but nobody could, because they couldn't understand me. So again, there was this phase when I put my feminine a bit to the side, because I wanted to be equal to them. And somehow I felt that when you're kind of like take care of yourself, and you make yourself all nice and pretty, then, they're going to see just that. And a lot of people do still. So later I was, getting into this phase of awakening, and I was literally embodying spirit side of me, just that presence. It was not about how I look, anything. It didn't matter to me anymore. Now I'm bringing that sensuality and that inner feminine expression back. As you can see, if you have been looking at my videos even, times past, you've seen that I've changed in this. And I started, what means to me the most right now is dancing. It's sensual dancing. I don't have just one style, like just belly dancing. I'm noticing when I watch other people dance, I have like unique style, like this blend that's just my soul signature, and I love it. And I love to watch others dance, because when I dance, when I watch dance, even since I was a little girl, I got goosebumps all over my body, and I knew that dance was a huge part of my life, but I let go. The same way with the paintings that now I started painting again. And before, when I was younger, I used to draw so much. It's like I knew that's going to serve me, in some level of my purpose. And whenever I did it, I just felt so amazing, but then I stopped. I kind of put all these creative expressions of myself and put them aside. And I focused only on being there for others, being there, and only a certain way. So I don't know if you already see what I'm going at, but I'm going at this thing, when people are leaving, not living, but leaving the old behind. Because sometimes when we think of ourselves, this is who I am, I make this, or I produce this, or this is my job, and you see yourself, well, that's what I am, I developed this, I'm a developer of this. And you think of it like this, and you limit yourself. And what if you're not just here? What if there's a bigger aspect of you that can incorporate all of your gifts? And all of them can be tuned into and tapped into and expressed simultaneously. So this is what's happening now during this Gateway of Oneness. And I'm sorry I'm talking so fast today, because whenever I get into this state, it's like hyperdrive. Like I said, I'm really sorry, but that's just how it comes true. It's a total spontaneous, it's not even a download. Some people call it download. It's embodiment, And it's just with this, we kind of project just a certain amount of our reality. So I was saying, I'm an ascension guide, period. And literally you can fall for that. This is a part of you, but is it really the whole you? What you are is a beautiful vibrational being of divine love, and then how you bring it through, how you express it, how you bring service to this plane of existence is unlimited. It can be through so many different ways and forms, and you will notice it on your body. When I was staying mostly in my masculine energy, I was very active, so I was putting a lot of energy out there. I wasn't so much receptive. Because of it, A lot of times in my past, I was losing weight. People think that losing weight has to do with not eating enough. That's not true, because I always ate the same amount. But the thing is that I've noticed when we do that, it kind of shows our energy where it is. And now I'm noticing my body's different. It's more feminine. It's expressing itself differently. And I'm just allowing myself to do all these creations, and to, to allow my soul to creatively feed me. And then abundance also flows. So those of you who are making a huge life transition, for example, you've left this whole life identity from before, and now you're shifting into something completely different. Don't worry, because the money will follow as soon as you really decide how to claim your energy back and activate it and cultivate it. And yes, I have received that for some people who are worried. They make this transition and they say, wow, I don't even have enough money to eat right now. And it doesn't have to be so drastic. It doesn't have to be a life-turning change over the night. We build everything in layers. It's how I'm building my life as well. Everything is always through a layer and layer, and that's the benevolent part of us. It doesn't want us to be rash, and it doesn't want this rash change. It wants a beautiful change that we can also enjoy. And this metamorphosis that's happening, it doesn't have to be difficult or painful or anything. That's why we're taking it this way. That's why we're creating it this way. So another message coming through is that we're here to co-create the new world. A lot of people, they're saying it's already there. It's a frequency, of course, but to make it physical, when I look around where I live and the other people, it's still not there. What I would really consider new earth, as in physical as well, would be a place of pure joy physically as well, and communities. And you go out there, you can have, if you don't cook yourself, you can go into a vegan restaurant or whatever it is. You can have choices, and there's people who are in compassion and understanding, and that's not still physically there in the mass, in the collective, because we get to co-create it. That's the whole thing. Humanity has been long enough waiting and relying on the external events or dates or timelines or ETs or anything, to come and to kind of make the shift. Or they say, when are we going to finally make this shift into the new world? The thing is, the beauty of it, when you as a human being realize that you're a co-creator with the divine, you are the ones who are going to start making the choices. And what do you want? How do you envision the new world? What do you want it to be? And then co-create along with the people who want the same, who want the similar. So this is the level of sovereignty that we're embodying, the sovereign integral. I was already talking about a lot in my videos. The conscious, self-responsible, divine human being, merging the two worlds together, the world of spirit and the world of matter, and knowing that there's no difference. So we're each making our lives according to our divine state. And recently also, there's a lot of messages coming through that we can't no longer stick with the old. Like, for example, one example is something I was reading in Diana Cooper's books. She was mentioning Mahatma energy, and I always resonate with that. I never resonated with the word Reiki. I don't know, maybe because it was so massive, but somehow I felt it has no purpose for me. Where I come, in the higher planes, it felt like we don't work with that energy. It's just, there's higher frequencies available. So Earth was getting these frequencies, and a lot of the healers of this age were channeling them through as Reiki energy. But what we're doing now in this new age, we've got to be open for new waves of energy. And she describes this beautiful as the Mahatma energy, the energy of divine synthesis that's there, that was, just tapped into by so many beautiful beings, and was created like the sacred pool of energy that we can tap into. And it's this golden white frequency that as well I now see everywhere, in all the messages. Everything I look at is white and gold. So one day I was hiking, I was running, and then I was hiking by my river stream, my mountain river stream, and I found this rock. It was triangle in shape. I documented on Facebook, of course, through photos, and I created this beautiful stone. It's gold, and it's platinum kind of color, like pearlescent. And it has these symbols, infinity symbols and the spiral. And here it has like a triangle with 12 rays, like 12 multidimensional consciousness with the source in the middle. It's always the number of 13, the source of all. And I just created this myself as an external reminder of this energy. And I can use it for many different things. Not to bump anyone on the head, but you can if you want, yourself when you can't sleep. Well, the thing is that these energies, we got to be open to them, the higher dimensional energies, the new frequencies. So I like to say, whenever I'm in my mode, that I'm just aligned with whatever is my highest aspect. So for example, a lot of you who don't come from here, you come from higher planes, and now you're seeding your awareness and your potential here. You want to always resonate with something that maybe something of the highest essence to someone who's first discovering it. For example, when you're with a differently aware being and you talk with them, they're so excited about something and you just can't be excited about it because for you it's not new. So this is how it felt for me all my life. A lot of things that people thought is wow or new or brilliant, I didn't think of it that way because the awareness is different. So you love what they love, you rejoice for them, you're happy about them, but you just can't feel the same. Like I said in my past video, nobody will feel the way you feel because you're a unique vessel for the consciousness that flows through you in your own way, and through awareness you're gaining the consciousness. It's the awareness that it's tuning you to the consciousness expression of the full radiant you. So that is why we're not to limit ourselves. For example, somebody does Reiki and you need to do it as well. But what do you feel? Does it bring you excitement? Does it bring you joy? A lot of the things also, it's very important that we consciously make the choice and the decision, because if we don't, the subconscious will do it for us. One example of this week we had here is my mom created this pain in the back. And it was exactly on the day that she's supposed to have yoga. They have this yoga for elderly here, with a few women going. And I was guided to ask her this week, and I said, but do you really even want to go to yoga? Does it bring you joy? And instantly she said, no, it doesn't really. And I said, do you know why you created the pain exactly on the day that you're supposed to go? She said, oh my God, really? Did I? And she was just like avoiding it. There was the second week coming and she said, I want to go. I said, really? But you look like you're walking. Yoga could do you good. But she didn't want to go. If something brings you excited, you just, even if it hurts you a bit, you still want to go, because it brings you joy and passion. And I said to her, you don't no longer have to create unconsciously. You can consciously create now. You're a conscious co-creator. You don't have to deny this aspect of you, making a choice, making a decision, and stand up for it, level up with it. You can just decide and say, I don't want to go, or I do want to go, or whatever it is. So this is a level of self-mastery and making the conscious decision, not let the soul keep showing us through the pains and symptoms. People who still experience pain, they're still working with the subconscious levels, because the unconscious level is something that wants to show you something you can't yet receive consciously because the awareness is not there, or you don't want to embrace it. So we really are asked now to shift, to create consciously through awareness, and like I said, to bring not only intentions or get creative ideas and inspirations. It's not enough. We need to bring them into form, and the base chakra does that. And then you get to bring it and create it through the earth portal, which is the earth star chakra. But you can't connect with it if your base chakra is not really enlightened. So you don't get enlightened here. You need to get enlightened everywhere, you see. And just bring it further down until it's really activated. And the base, when it's in balance, when it's in pure balance of your inner masculine and feminine self, you will create the most beautiful forms and shapes that also represent the divine beauty and perfection, because you'll be aligned with it energetically. You will be in that beautiful frequency of the polarization and wholeness of the expression of divine feminine and masculine. Okay. This is something I wanted to say. Also something else with the symptoms, because there was a lot of solar flares recently, and I've just discovered this person on Facebook through somebody else, and I love their posts and how they describe this, what's happening with the body. So when the new incoming frequency comes, and it has to do a lot with the solar flares, because each sun of the certain solar system is connected with the grand central sun, which is the source of all life in this universe. And then it creates these particles and the messages from that source and channels it forth, and it comes to us through the earth, through the atmosphere, through those flares. So sometimes for somebody who's not so used to that energy, because humans are still adapting to that, sometimes we'll feel like an overload of energy. And that person really beautifully described that. I shared it on my Facebook profile, and it had to do with sometimes people feeling such fatigue and such tiredness, they don't know why. and the body is overwhelmed with energy. And at that time, it is best to work through that excessive energy through some sort of creativity. That's what I recommend as well. You just creatively, sometimes of course you just need rest, you just need sleep. Your body needs to just, but at a certain point, if it's just repetitive, you kind of need to channel that energy through. So you get back, you get in the body through creativity, you really get in the body. And sometimes it feels like yesterday when it was 11:11 and I went for a walk, and we went for a walk, and actually it felt, we both kind of get, like not sick, like really sick, but kind of sickish. And my belly usually rises up and I feel like pregnant with energy. And I start doing this. I'm like, oh, I'm pregnant again, with energy. And what I did is I came home, I used that as a source of inspiration, and I started doing sketches for the new future oracle I'm creating, for the future. Just putting those paintings out there, and I started doing that, and it was beautiful. It was balanced, and in the morning, like I said, I woke up feeling brilliant and amazing. So this is what we're asked to do at those times when it feels just hyper intense. And since I'm really at the paintings already, I would like to inform you that besides other personal services that I'm doing via sessions, session messages, and spirit guidance, and of course the soul mandalas that come through my mom, they're amazing, and people are really starting to feel them now more. I'm adding the new personal service, which a lot of people asked me to do. I wasn't even intending to do it because I wanted to focus on the paintings for the oracle that I have in my mind for the future. And just creating it step by step. This is something I'm really called to do now, to paint more than write. It's just when we do that, when we tune into the other levels of creativity, we're kind of actually in the higher dimensional energy, which is not just word, written language and word and talking and communication, but it's the higher expression that comes through painting, dancing, working with color, anything like that. It's a higher dimensional frequency work. So a lot of people ask me to do that because they really felt my portraits. Just my sister of light recently said that it's like I see through it. It's like I see through the soul, and I create these like lighting coatings that can be there in the painting. So I'm going to add that tomorrow on my section in the blog, and all my services are now in the blog section because I'm going to kind of move, like I said, everything more to the blog. I want to make everything more personal, more soul embodied, not so much global, because the more that I am in my body and in my soul, and the more that I'm personal, the more that I'm also one with everything. This is the whole paradox that people need to begin to understand. It's not separation. It has nothing to do with the ego. When you push yourself as a soul-based personality aside, you're really not going to experience oneness. You got to move back in the body. You got to move from here and living scattered somewhere else, which you're never going to create anything. And a lot of people are still there. They constantly think about something. They constantly talk, and think, mentalize. And the whole thing is that I've said this in my recent article, that if all of these people they have so much, but they would kind of bring that through the body and use it as a creative expression, put it out there, we'd have a more beautiful world like this, like instantly. This is what's happening. This needs soul embodiment, of course. So anyway, guys, if you're going to be checking in, I'm going to publish that tomorrow as a personal service. And these new life self-portraits are about calling in your highest aspect, your new energy, your master self. These are not your past life paintings. They're nothing like this. I always channel the new frequency. So this is actually the future, the higher version of you. We say the future because we have that time linear thing in the mind, but it's not that way. The future means more expanded, more aware, kind of out there, but it's what you're embodying right now. It's what you're integrating inside of you. And it has a lot of activation codes that, if you feel guided to that, just check it out. If not, that is perfect as well. Focus on your own beautiful creative expressions and just take care of yourselves. Don't fear if a huge life cycle or chapter has ended. Just focus on the new sense of strength and guidance, newfound guidance that's coming. It's already here. And that's what's making us who we are and bringing us closer to that true self, authentic expression each day. And each day is a gift, like I say. So take your crystal companions, create a crystal grid if you want to. Do something creative, whatever it feels like flow. When you put divine expressions this way, you put divine beauty out into the world, and that's what we're here to do. So take care. I love you all so much, and stay tuned. Bye-bye.